In the village of Umudike, nestled between rolling green hills and the endless blue sky, lived a young girl named Nkem. She was the pride of her mother, Adobe, and the light of her small family. But from an early age, Nkem felt the weight of something that she couldn't understand, a burden she couldn't shake off even as a child. By the time she was 9, Nkem's body began changing in ways that made her stand out. Her breasts grew rapidly, far faster than those of other girls her age. At first, it was only her mother who noticed, helping her daughter with adjustments to her clothes. But soon, the whispers began. It started with the children, the village children. When Nkem would run to the stream with her friends, they would giggle behind her. Some called her mother hen, laughing at the way her chest bounced when she ran. Even the boys, who had no understanding of what they were mocking, joined in the teasing. "Why do they laugh at me, Mama?" Nkem asked one evening, tears brimming in her wide, innocent eyes. Adobe paused, looking at her daughter's trembling form. She placed a hand on Nkem's cheek and said gently, "My child, they laugh because they do not understand. There is nothing wrong with you. God makes each of us different." But Nkem was not convinced. The laughter, the stares, and the whispers followed her everywhere she went. By the time she was 12, she dreaded going to the stream or walking to the market. The teasing had turned into open ridicule. Some villagers even told Adobe that her daughter should be taken to a healer to fix her curse. Nkem began to withdraw, hiding behind oversized wrappers and avoiding gatherings. She prayed every night for her body to change, for her breasts to shrink so she could blend in. "I just want to be like everyone else," she whispered to the stars one night, tears streaming down her cheeks. When she turned 18, Nkem had blossomed into a striking young woman. Her skin was the color of the rich mahogany, and her eyes sparkled like the morning sun hitting the river. She carried herself with a quiet dignity, but beneath her beauty lay a heart heavy with scars. Suitors began to visit her family's compound, drawn by her beauty. Adobe held on to hope that one of these men would see Nkem's worth beyond her physical appearance. But each time, the result was the same. They would sit in her father's hut, exchange pleasantries, and leave without returning. One man, bold enough to voice his thoughts, told Adobe plainly, "Your daughter is beautiful, but her body is too much. I cannot take her as a wife." Nkem heard those words, though she pretended not to. That night, she buried her face in her hands and cried harder than she ever had before. But the greatest humiliation came when a man named Chike arrived in Umudike. He was a well-respected trader, charming and kind, or so Nkem thought. When Chike expressed interest in marrying her, the entire village buzzed with excitement. On the wedding day, Nkem was filled with cautious hope. She thought, perhaps, that Chike might truly love her. But as the women helped her into the wedding gown his family had brought, the seams ripped apart. The gown, too small for her frame, tore loudly, leaving Nkem standing in shock and embarrassment. Gasps filled the room. Chike's family murmured among themselves, their disapproval obvious. "Is this what we came for?" one of the women hissed. Chike, unable to bear the humiliation, stormed out with his family, leaving Nkem alone in her torn dress. The festive songs turned to whisper of pity and gossip. That night, Nkem sat by the mango tree, behind her house, staring into the dark sky. "Why was I born like this?" she whispered to the wind. "Why did God make me this way?" For weeks, she stayed hidden in her home, avoiding the judgmental eyes of the villagers. Adobe tried to comfort her, but there were no words to erase the pain of rejection. One evening, as the sun dipped low on the horizon, Nkem wandered to the river, soaking solace in its gentle current. There, she met Obinna, a craftsman passing through the village. He was different from anyone she had ever met. Obinna spoke to her with kindness, his words carrying no judgment or pity. Over time, he learned of her struggles, the shame she carried, and the ridicule she had endured. "You are beautiful, Nkem," he said one day, his voice firm, "not because of your body, but because of who you are." His words were like a balm to her wounded soul. Slowly, Nkem began to heal. Obinna showed her that love was not about perfection, but about acceptance. He embraced every part of her beauty, her pain, and her strength. When Obinna asked for her hand in marriage, he brought a dress tailored just for her. On their wedding day, Nkem stood tall, her smile radiant as she walked to the altar. The whispers of the villagers faded into the background as Obinna took her hand and vowed to love her for all that she was. That night, Nkem cried again, but this time her tears were of gratitude. She had spent years wishing she were someone else, but now she saw the truth. She was enough. She had always been enough. And so, Nkem's story became a legend in Imudike, a tale of resilience, self-love, and the power of unconditional love. Thank you for watching my video. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't, in order to get notified when we upload our subsequent videos. Thank you.